Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 27. I'm Joe Exotic. I'm here in Colorado at the second home mansion here in Colorado Springs, where we are fixing to build the largest breeding facility in the entire world for tigers. But hey, let me talk about Mr. Kasich and Tim Harrison and Pat Craig and a few others here for just a second, okay? First of all, Tim Harrison, I hope you're damn proud of yourself being a ex-cop or ex-firefighter or whatever the hell you decide to put on your resume. Now you've got SWAT teams breaking into people's houses, pointing guns at women and children while they're still asleep in bed. All for what? The animals. I hope the hell you're real proud of yourself. But you know, all you got to do is walk up to a door and knock on half the doors of these people, because they're still normal people, citizens of the United States, and they don't deserve to be treated like fucking criminals. Other thing I've got a problem with you is your stupid movie called The Elephant in the Living Room. One of the big things about that thing is anybody that would take a film crew and make a film about some lions for an entire year to where they have babies, grow up, and then electrocute the lion at the end of the movie, all to pad your pockets? Are you fucking kidding me? You've got to be probably one of the worst scumbags I have ever run into, other than Mr. Kasich. So, what are we doing besides taking money from little old people that are on a budget that love to help animals? And all you're doing is giving it away to Carol Baskin and Tim Harrison and a bunch of other crooks out there in order to raise money and take people's animals away from them. So my offer still stands. Get on CNN and double debate, you pricks, okay? I'd love to get Tim Harrison on a lie detector test and see if he had anything to do with the death of Tara Thompson out there in Zanesville, Ohio. Get on CNN Live. Let's ask Mr. Kasich 10 questions. Let's ask Tim Harrison 10 questions. And you know what? How about the sheriff of Zanesville, Ohio? Sheriff No Nuts. Sheriff Lutz. You know, we could put him on a lie detector test for 10 questions right along with Carol Baskin and Wayne Pacelli. And just to make it fair, I'll hook myself up to one, and you can ask me 10 questions. And let's find out who the biggest chicken shit in this industry is and who's behind murder and corruption and stealing people's animals only to make hundreds of thousands of dollars on taking their animals away from them. You're in the news and on the newspapers and in the middle of talk shows, Mr. Tim. Why? Because it makes you feel good. Right? Absolutely right. There's no other reason other than you people are profiting off of other people's demise. Mr. Trump, I'm asking you for that 20, 30-minute sit-down meeting, and let's open up some of this corrupt bullshit and stand behind the American citizens for a change. But you know, the biggest thing that still chaps my ass is we have teenagers going over abroad and fighting for this country in order to stay free, and then come home and get fucked by the governor of Ohio and Tim Harrison and Carol Baskin and Wayne Pacelli all over money? What the hell are these people fighting for? Damn sure ain't freedom right here in America. So, Mr. Rubio, down there in Florida, sir, I'd like to have a sit down with you too and see if you can help straighten up some of this corrupt shit that's coming out of Florida. But we have been asking all of the presidential candidates 6 questions for the last 26 days. And I'm going to ask you those same 6 questions right now. Here in America, we have a war in the animal world and the animal rights people in order to take our rights away. And 62.8 million people here in America own pets, and we'd like to know your comments and your concerns about a few issues. Question number 1. How do you feel about 501c3 organizations here in America that are scamming the public for hundreds of millions of dollars to take care of animals, and none of it goes to the animals? 90% of it goes to lobbyists to pass laws to further their agenda. 2, it seems like terrorist is the #1 topic anytime you turn the news on anymore. Are you aware that our own government, the United States Department of Agriculture, declared PETA a #1 domestic terrorist in the United States on November the 30th, 2009, and they're still a nonprofit tax organization here in America? How can you be a terrorist and get a tax break from your own country right here in America? 3, we'd like to know your opinion on how you feel on online bullying, not only of children, but adults, in the name of free speech, in order to bash somebody and ruin their reputation and their good name, only to make money for yourself and get away with it under the Declaration of Free Speech. 4, we'd like to know, how come us Americans that own our own property, own our own houses, and pay taxes on them do not have the right to have our own pets that we choose to have on our property or in our homes? Number 5, do you not think that we Americans have the right to assume the risk of our profession, no different than a cop, a firefighter, an oil rig worker, or anyone else that has the assumption of the risk of their professions? It is our right. And please, if you become president, give us back our right. And number 6, one of the most important, and this kind of touched on your speech at the Oklahoma State Fair about things being made in other countries and taxing them when they come into America. Do you not believe that it should be a right that any product made from the rainforest or an animal's habitat somewhere in the world should be taxed in order to be sold in America, and that tax money go back to helping rebuild the habitat and the rainforest so some of these animals don't become extinct in the futures to come? Well, anyway, those are the 6 questions that we would like you politicians that are running for president to answer. But you know what? The further I get into this, the more fun I'm having. So, you know, I'm not real big into politics. I really don't know how to get involved in all this shit. So if there's somebody out there that's watching these videos that knows how to sign me up as a candidate for the President of the United States, at least we'll have a voice. I'd love to get in on a couple of these debates and find out just really what's going on in this country and what people really care about. I can guarantee you that the biggest percent of them are going to care about their rights. See them mountains behind me? That's kind of a symbol of America being free, having gorgeous terrain like that that's undisturbed, and animals and people get to live in it without being bothered. But we're never going to get that as long as we have lawmakers pushing agendas across the president's desk and the governor's desk in order to further their own agendas in this country. And they're called lobbyists, and people giving money for animal causes and it being filtered and laundered through animal rights organizations. So that's the first thing that needs to stop. We need to start throwing a few of these people in jail that are raising money for one cause and giving it away to another. Nothing about that's right. So 20 minutes at a sit-down meeting, 30 minutes of a sit-down meeting, or let's hook everybody up to lie detector tests. I don't give a shit which one you want to do, but we're not going to stop until we get some answers of what's going on in this country. So anyway, I'm Joe Exotic from the mansion in Colorado. I will see you tomorrow for video message number 28.